Hello, everyone. Welcome to our podcast. Today, we are having an exciting guest, Pranav Sasidharan, a talented director known for his work on Ballaatha Jaathi music video and a winner of D4 Dance Season 2. And he directed the viral hit Ballaatha Jaathi featuring Neeraj Madhav, Dapsy, and Baby Jean, which hit over 37 million views on YouTube. Pranav, welcome.
Thank you. I hope I'm audible. That is very kind.
Yes, you are. How are you?
I'm well. How are you guys?
I'm
Fine,
well.
fine, sir.
Good, good. Let us introduce ourselves. Myself, Najia.
Hi, Najia.
Hi.
I am Manas.
Hi, Manish.
Hi, sir. I am Dhanush.
Hi, Dhanush. Nice to meet you.
Ah,
There is one more person,
Rajat, you are
Rajat.
not
I
audible.
think. Okay, can you please check if you are having any problem? Okay. We can start our session. So, I would like to ask some questions. So, can you take us through your journey? How did you start your journey and the direction?
Well, it's actually the journey. Well, I have to try to compress it as short as possible. I can't get too much into the details.
Okay,
I
sure.
um I am a multifaceted artist. I started not knowing where I want to indulge myself in. I used to try everything that I can get a hold of. And fairly enough, I mean, there were only few things like, um, so I've been, like, my parents put me into training for something only once, and that was music. I quit within 2 months. It was not for me, classical music. I enjoyed it, but I realized I don't have a flair for creating it. But I realized that I used to be very visual. Like,
Hmm.
even in an age when I couldn't exactly talk, I used to draw and paint stuff. Which did not make sense because I still remember my mother telling me that my dad used to literally hold up the page and ask me, "What is this?" And I used to just point my finger towards the hen walking around in the veranda. Oh, that's in, so, that's what you made. Okay, got it. So technically, I could not speak much, but I used to really, I think I need to thank my parents for equipping me with stuff like that. I made stuff that I did not understand. Neither did people understand what it was. I had to tell them this is what I meant. So it started from there. I also remember having a toy robot at home. I used to try to mimic it. I used to copy anything and everything that I liked, including movie scenes. I think that has got to be my first flair with dancing. And I'm self-trained in most of the things that I do. I haven't been formally trained. Um, I believe that you develop a curiosity for something and then you chase it. Eventually, you start liking it and then you keep doing more and more of it. This process is what a lot of people misinterpret as talent. I think it just starts with curiosity, desire, curiosity first, then desire, and then you indulge in it and enough so that you don't get bored of it and you keep getting better and better at it um, until a point comes when you can actually move away from the idea of replicating things and start channeling your own thoughts into through that specific medium. So that's how I became an artist. I used to draw a lot. I used to draw crazy amount of drawings on a daily basis. I was obsessed. So that was the beginning of everything that I do. I think it was very visual. And then slowly I branched on to more things like I started moving more and more. I had clear influences. I grew up in Mumbai, so I had a very vibrant dance community around my town, around my city. If you know the world champions Kings United, most of them were my classmates. I grew up with them. So daily you are exposed to such things. And I think that kind of does something to you. I was blessed with good surroundings, I must say. And school, well, I was in sports, I was in art, studies. I was a good student, but I did not enjoy any of it. rightfully so. And yeah, that's what happened. I slowly found my calling in physical movement. Then dance happened, and then the reality show happened. But first time me facing a camera was as an actor. I've always wanted to be an actor. I wanted to be in the movies. So that was the beginning of everything, to be very honest. And everything else just fell in place, kind of got latched to it in the process. That's how my journey has been. I'm still learning. That's one thing that has stayed common ever since day one. Yeah.
Thank you. That was truly inspiring. Um, guys, would you like to ask some questions?
My question is, you started as a dancer and later become a director. Was this shift something you always wanted, or did it happen unexpected?
So actually, there was no shift. Like I said, a lot of people, I mean, there's an outward perspective and then there's a lived life, right? Outward perspective is the linear order of things that you've seen something unfold. But for me, I started writing, I started working with visual art even before I learned to start moving. So you see where I'm coming from. I possibly started preparing to I mean, unconsciously, subconsciously preparing to be a visual artist, to be telling stories. That whole process started even before I started, you know, putting myself through dance. So that came first, and then dance happened. It's just that the world got to witness the dancer first, and then I got an opportunity. Because see, dance is a very self-indulgent art form. You don't need anyone's help. I mean, you want to dance, all you need is a space and yourself. And now you don't have an excuse. You even have technology. You can basically broadcast yourself to such a wide audience. But direction is not the same. Neither is acting the same in our country. Because direction will require, you need a good team to stand by your side, to function with you. It's a more expensive medium. And a lot of things has to come together. So I think it totally makes sense how direction came second because I had to accumulate that kind of experience, network, learning, and manpower to put that side of mine out there. Because see, right now that gap is kind of getting reduced with the advent of AI, more accessible prosumer softwares, and technological access. But I'm talking about 2010 or 11. At that point of time, my access to these things were very limited. So something that was very much in reach for me as an artist was me and my own body because that came for free. That's why dance first got to people. But there was no transition of becoming an actor from even acting is not self-indulgent. You can't learn or practice acting by yourself. It's a very ensemble give and take art form with a group of people. So for me to really find myself in a theater space professionally, training and working with actors for over an year or more than that, all those things, there was intention was always there. The kind of limited preparation that one could do, being your own self, that was also always there, but not enough for me to put it out there. That came with time. So there was no transition. It was just non-linear ways of how things unfolded.
Rajat?
I think Rajat is facing some issue with the mic.
Done.
Mm,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, please try using your headphone or switching to laptop. Okay.
Also, if you
Uh,
really, also if you really look at like most of the, I mean, it
camera.
could be very no, no, I meant continuation of that question. A lot of people get confused when they don't know
Hmm.
where to put me. Like, am I a director? Am I an actor? Am I a writer? It's very overwhelming for a lot of people. But I
Okay.
kind of make it very simple for them. I tell them, see, at the end of the day, what am I trying to do? It's very simple. I'm in the business of telling stories. I'm in the art form of telling stories.
Hmm.
You look at a dancer, he's trying to tell you a story with movement. You look at a director, he's trying to tell you a story with crafting visuals. Actor is trying to tell a story by being one of the part elements of that visual. So at the end of the day, I'm just doing one thing. It's just that as per
Storytelling.
my mood, I just keep finding different ways to do it. Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, you're
Can you
audible.
Hi.
hear me?
Yes.
Sir, every project comes with challenges. What was the most difficult part of directing Ballaatha Jati and how did you handle it?
Well, so if you really look at it, in the media field, when you're directing things, right, there is a slight difference between the working culture abroad and in India. I
Uh,
know that American direction gigs are more like, I mean, I'm not saying that they are any devoid of struggles and problems. Of course, they are, but it is more systematic. It is more organized. Sad part about India is that when you're beginning off as a director, um, most of your energy, let's say 80% of it goes in everything other than directing. 20% you will get to be creative. I mean, so what I do is I channel most of my creativity during the pre-production phase. So that's when I have control. There is a book, there is a pen, there's a laptop, and there's not a lot of logistical struggles involved with it. You can do whatever you want. But once you get onto field, you are actually solving crisis after crisis after crisis after crisis. And that happens because direction at the end of the day, um, I mean, cinema for that matter, is basically a marriage of logistics and creativity. You can be someone with a
yes,
lot of creativity, but if the logistics does not really help you put it together, it stays in the PDF file, does not materialize or come out into the world. You can be really good with your logistics, but if you're all about logistics, but there is no organic creative content or substance in there, you fail to connect with the audience. It's just a project that's out there. So, as an artist who is navigating through the challenges of operating from a country which is not exactly primed for artists, like, I truly believe that, like, the economy, the social framework is not exactly pro artist in our country. I mean, it might be slowly getting there. I mean, not for the artist as per se, for the struggling artist, how people call it. Until you make it, like, it's the society is not really designed for your well-being or to make it any easier for you. So, yeah, it's just a list of problem solving one after another. And when it came to Ballaatha Jaathi, my challenges were more emotional than anything else, any other kind of work that I have done. I think right before Ballaatha Jaathi, I had a breakup. Technically, that's what it was. And it was very difficult for me. I was in therapy. So um, my point was I had 1.5 to 2 weeks
Hmm.
for pre-production, barely 1.5 weeks. There was not a lot of time involved. So to be in a very emotionally vulnerable space and at the same time taking up a project, which is the biggest funding that you have received as a director, someone is trusting your vision and putting that money on you. So now I had to navigate between, okay, what am I feeling and what I want. I mean, I've waited so long for that kind of a canvas or access to build something. I had
Hmm.
a dream cast. I had one of the top actors, not only in Kerala, but also he's known for The Family Man. I had Neeraj Madhav supporting me. There was Dabsy, this Baby Jean, all three of them at the peak of what they were doing. I mean, they're still at the peak of what they're doing, but at that point of time, it was like back-to-back releases, so they were really out there. So I realized that doing Ballaatha Jaathi was like doing three different music videos because you have three different artists, but you're getting all of them under one umbrella, and that's like a very rare
Yeah.
chance of happening.
Yes.
And when you're doing music videos for that matter, I have done a lot of music videos where I did not exactly connect with the music so much, but because it was work, I wanted to do it. But then for the
Hmm.
first time, there came a point where I thoroughly loved the song so much. Just think about it. If you're making a music video, you listen to the song more than anyone. During the pre-production, you might listen to it some 1,000 times. I mean, rough numbers. When you're shooting, you listen to it another 1,000 times. I mean, I obsessively listen to my material. It's almost like by hearting a script. And then in post-production, editing, VFX, through the entire pipeline, you're listening to that song so many times. So imagine by the time it gets out to the world, let's say it's releasing today. For you, it is fresh for the next 3 months. For me, I might be so saturated from that very song. it's very easy to feel, oh my God, I just want to be done with this. But with Ballaatha Jaathi, even today I enjoy that song. I mean, it has not
Yours.
really, I'm glad, it has not really hit that saturation point for me, which is such a rare occurrence. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I learned from Ballaatha Jaathi, that if I want to associate with any music video, if I want to do music, I will find myself very blessed if I get the kind of song which does not drain the novelty out of me. So with Ballaatha Jaathi, a lot of things were falling in place. So I was asking that question, like, is this the time for you to attend to your emotions and sit back because of your mental health? So I really put my emotions on hold and I got out on the field and I worked with my people. And I think that's the best decision that I took because the video turned out well. It was entertaining. It gave a lot of happiness to people. And I realized that I created it during a time when I was at the lowest of the lowest emotionally, like below rock bottom. I understood there's a place under rock bottom also. So in that situation, if I could create something fun like that, which means that when I'm happy, when I'm truly happy, when I'm in my emotional balance, I might just be able to create even better. So that was my challenge. More than logistical challenge, this was that. That's what I think.
Mm, that's great. Talking about your breakup, let's change the mood. Can we see a bit of that video? I would like to share the screen and play the video on YouTube.
Mhm.
Wait for a second. Like I'll introduce and I'll ask him question first.
Okay.
Uh,
Finally, your
okay.
mic is good now.
Yeah. Well, hi sir. Sorry for
Yeah.
the like I was having some problem with my mic, and I am Rajat sir.
Hi, Rajat. That's fine.
And like my question is, Balata Jati became a massive hit. What was the idea behind the project, and how did you decide to take it on? Like,
So first time I listened to that song, it was
okay,
just a 30-second preview. It was a demo basically. It was not even entirely cooked. There was no
okay,
Dabsy on board. There was no Baby Jean on board. There was just Neeraj Mother. Um,
okay,
I I heard it and I immediately said, bro, this is a banger. This is definitely working out. And then Neeraj and me, we had a back and forth between, okay, how do we go with this? We had so many throw around ideas. I was like, you know, um, all the initial ideas, right? I have a basic rule. The first ideas are usually trash, no matter how good they look.
yes,
I'll indulge with it and then I'll just cut it off. Our first idea was let's go to the desert and possibly like, the shake vibes with this. I'm like, that's like template. Anyone who would be listening to this song, first thing that's what is going to come to their mind. And then I love working with fantasy. Um, at least when it comes to music videos, I think me as a filmmaker, if I'm approaching a movie, I may not be one to work with a lot of homages or references or recreations or inspirations, which is very clear. But when it comes to music videos, I feel I have a sense of freedom where I can do anything and everything. Technically, I try to do things in my music videos, which is almost like a trial to bigger things that I have kept for my movies. You get to test it out in music videos. So I said that this has to be fictional. There has to be a story to this because stories connect with people.
yes,
I was actually looking at what was that one thing which the music video scene was missing in the current scene. There's very less storytelling, a lot of visuals, a lot of flashy edits. Like everything was about how it looked more than how it felt. So I was like, there is a scope for this to be a story and characters, and that engages people more than anything. Like if you're just looking at good visuals, I think 30 seconds would be tops. After that, if you have got to stay, it's because of the song. I wanted people to say stay not only because of the song, but because of the visuals. Like when you say that the visuals are here, you no, when the song is here, you want the visuals to at least match up till that level or surpass it.
okay,
So that was a gap we were trying to fill first, and then I stopped being very analytical about it. We got around to the idea of pulling in Baby G or Dabsy, and then we realized, oh no, let's just put both of them together. So we got, I mean, it organically shaped as an ambitious project. It was entirely the brainchild of Neeraj Madhav about how the song should be like. I kept listening to the song over the entire night, repeat, 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 and I just like, I mean, if you really pay attention to the music soundscape, it has a lot of Middle Eastern instruments and elements to it. And I was trying to think of the culture, because whenever you're trying to tell a story, if there is a culture represented in that, culture is the most visual form of storytelling, like right from the detailing of every single prop to the costume, everything. So the Arab culture, fictionalizing it, it all fell together. Arabian Nights, and then I wanted to rework on the details because long back I had done an indie music video for an artist called Suzanne. I created a mermaid in it. So you have seen mermaid, right? But you have not seen a brown Indian mermaid before. So we worked with that. I replaced the fish tail with a fighter fish tail, which there was one in my friend's fish bowl. I was like, okay, I would like to pick that up. And then we changed the top from brocade Indian sari. So that was me trying to take a known concept and completely strip it apart and put it back together in a way that you have not seen before. So that was what I wanted to do with, Aladdin's story in Ballaatha Jaathi. We took a material, we stripped it entirely apart, and then put it back in together, blended it with our culture. I love blending cultures together because that's what happened with the music too. It's hip hop, and then there is Malabar culture put into it. So I exactly did what musicians did, but visually. So that's how I came up with it.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your information, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll share the screen. I would like to play that song. I think you need to accept from your end, Manish, since you are hosting it.
Are we going to play the entire song?
No, just some seconds.
Okay.
Don't worry. Manish, or I can share the link. Yeah. Are you able to see the screen?
Yeah.
There is no sound is coming.
Oh, song is not the response. I think I need to do something else. Okay. I'll share the link and we can watch after this meeting. I think everyone has already watched it. If you want to rewatch, I'll share the link. Okay, I'll stop sharing since we are out of time. Okay, so and this video has been globally viral. I have seen so many foreign people reacting to this video. Uh, it's truly amazing. And I would like to ask if the entertainment industry is highly competitive nowadays. So how do you stay motivated and continue evolving as a director?
Evolving competitive, yes, because 20 years back, 15 years
Hmm.
back, the tools and technology that was needed to make things like these were limited to a very small percentage of people in the population, right? And now it has become very accessible. You can buy
Yeah.
something and start learning altogether because of internet as well. I mean, there used to
Hmm.
be professional cameras and there used to be consumer cameras. Professional cameras are basically what filmmakers use. Consumer cameras is basically what our parents used to buy that camera at home and we used to get family photos clicked and stuff like that. But in the last decade or more than that, there's been like up since digital cameras came into being, you have prosumer cameras. Prosumer, the word itself says a lot about the scenario we are in. Professional and consumer, both blended in together. So you
Hmm.
have technology accessible to common people which is very much in line with professional requirements to make something. So obviously, the gate has been opened for a wider amount of people practicing filmmaking, and I think that is actually good. Me being a filmmaker might have been a lot to do with that because I come from a family. I'm the first generation working artist in my family.
Hmm.
Everybody else is from the science field. So I think Is there competition? Well, there are two ways of looking at it. Me as an artist, I'm I mean, maybe there was a time in my teenage when everything looked very competitive because that's the kind of education system that you're growing coming from, right? But I slowly realized that there is a difference between studying and learning. Studying is very external, learning is very internal. Studying stops when your exams are done, and learning continues on as long as you're curious or passionate about what you want to do. So I got into a place where, is there competition outside? Yes. But is that supposed to determine how we approach our craft? Not really. Because you know what competition makes you do? It makes you do a lot of things. And there is no power in doing a lot of things. Like back in my acting class, my sir Saurabh Sasdeva used to say that it doesn't matter how many things, what all things are you doing. What matters is how deep do you go into the things that you choose to do. So, is it competitive? Yes, but I also feel that the more competitive, the more accessible things are, the more competitive it gets because there are more people trying to squeeze into and fit into a space. But it also means that authenticity is becoming more and more and more and more a narrow concept. I mean, think about it. You come across n number of content on a daily basis when you doom scroll, right?
Yes.
How many of these actually stay with you emotionally or stay in your memory for more than a month
A
or
few.
two? Very few.
A few.
That's the power of storytelling. So I think if you let competition determine how you navigate or travel, you will be forced to chase the rat race and quantity and the number game, right? I think the more I'm just involved with, I've noticed that the easiest way to stand out is to do things that nobody else is doing. And the easiest way to figure out what nobody else is doing is to actually do what you want to do and not what others have created. Like there's no need to chase what is in trending.
Mm.
Because that won't really get that far, to be honest. It's okay if you mess up doing something that you felt is like, oh, this was the way to go, but there's a lot to learn in there. Competition, yes, it is there, but it does not really get to me that much as long as I continue to work, like you
Mm.
know internally that there is something right that's happening for you.
Mm.
And I saw this interview with Anurag Kashyap the other day. He said something very valid. If you keep thinking about your past, you're going to be traumatized every day. If you keep thinking about your future, you're going to be anxious every day. And it's about now.
No.
Yeah. And to focus on now, you have to really focus on yourself, not on the competition. By the time you're chasing someone's level of excellency, you need to understand by the time you get there, that's already past tense for them.
Mm.
So you are competing with something that's already done. Rather,
Mm.
just compete with yourself. It is now here. You're bound to grow. It's as simple as that.
Yeah. We may fail in what we are doing, but we have to do it again and again, and we will achieve it for sure. Is it?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things which does not align. Like, for example, my previous generation used to say that you need to work really hard and you'll be rewarded. I don't think so. It's not really about working hard. It's about working
Mm.
smart. It's about knowing where should I put my energy.
My energy.
There's no
Yes.
point pushing energy in a place where, I think a lot of our entire generation has been affected with that ingrained conditioning. Uh, I mean, there have been sayings, right? You work hard, you get the reward. I don't think so. Our society is not primed for it. That's not how it works.
Okay. Okay. And let's dive into the next question. If you could direct a music video with an international artist, who would it be and why?
Hans Zimmer or Ludovico Einaudi, because these are the people whose music I listen on a loop when I'm writing my movie script. I listen to a lot of instrumentals, so unlike popular options, this is something I like artists who have a story to tell. I would love to Um, I mean, it's a long list. I can't pick one or two names. Like I said, Hans Zimmer, there is Ludovico Einaudi, there is Hanuman Kind. The reason why Hanuman Kind is because, like I said, I love mixing two different cultures. And most of the times, when I mix my culture, I like to put my own roots in there and then create a subset of a culture which is already out there.
Mm.
And Hanuman Kind is someone that I see is actively trying to do that. And all his songs have some kind of storytelling. It's
Yes.
cryptic. It's not and exactly catered to the mainstream fashion of listening to music. But I think when an artist is doing that, it is already giving you a head start as a filmmaker to really, create something special out of it. So I think these would be my top three artists to pick. And um, who else? Anuv Jain. Yes, I would love to create
Mm.
something for Anuv Jain. Because I do actually, I mean, no shade. I've never been really happy with Anuv Jain's music videos so far. So I actively see a very big gap there. But that man's music really does the
Yes, great.
job. So I think it's the same thing, right? The music is there, and I really wish the video also really, I mean, what I'm saying is if you take up an Anuv Jain music video, it's a challenge. The
Mm.
song emotionally goes to a place which connects so many people together. You, as a filmmaker, have equal responsibility to touch that kind of sophistication when it comes to the material that is provided to you. So I think that is an area where there is a lot of room for development, and I would love to be part of that someday.
Mm. Okay. And how do you manage your team and assign the works and all your crew?
So one basic principle that I actually follow with my team is that I don't think, and neither do I make it look like they work for me. I mean, I'm
Mm.
very clear in my head, they don't work for me, they work with me. So it's a lot more easier to uh, collaborate because there is no hierarchy in my team. Like, if they have their own project coming up, I would go and assist and associate with them. When I have a project, they would come and assist and associate with me. It's a very give and take because me as a most of my designs, my ideas, I do it in isolation. But for those things to really come out, I need my team. So that awareness makes you create. I mean, I'm not one to go very corporate with my core team at least. But there is no, I find more joy in the working culture of feeling like you're working with a family of people. There is a subconscious level of understanding that you make. You can have differences, you will have fights, but it's not personal. You know, why are you fighting? Why is anyone fighting for that matter? Not that we fight a lot, we don't, but um, I have a really good team, and I think if at all you are even taking this interview right now is because my team helped me put out something. So that awareness is always there. Becomes very easy like that.
What next for Pranav Sasidharan? Any exciting project coming up?
I um so right now, what am I doing? I am writing my feature film. Um, I start pitching next week. I've been on this for 1.5 years now. Plus, I'm doing a Tamil music video for Think Music. That's all I'm occupied with as of now. Then some once in a while, whenever I get approached for a good audition casting call, I do apply for it. I mean, in the entire thing, whatever you see, it started from me being wanting to be an actor. Then I realized that okay, if nobody's giving me an opportunity, we create our own opportunities. So that's just what got me till here. And right now, that is what we are actively doing. This is what we wanted to do, and now we are like there. We are actively doing it. Writing a movie, all of it is part of that process. So I think it's exciting. It's good. I'm liking the process of it.
Mm.
Are you guys done?
Sir, can
As
I
of
ask you one more question, sir? Hello.
Yeah, sure.
If a movie was made about your life, what would be the title, sir, for that movie?
Man, I have absolutely no clue to be very honest, but I don't know. Could be the sleepwalker who got paid. I think
Mm.
so. Yeah, because when I was a child, my teachers used to tell my parents like, "He's here, but he's not here,
Okay.
somewhere lost."
Mm.
But I think that is what actually helps me even today to be interesting as a artist. So yeah, the sleepwalker who got paid. Yeah.
Mm. Okay, sir. Then let's conclude. Nazia, go for it.
Yeah,
Conclude.
sure. So it's been absolutely pleasure having you with us today, and thank you for sharing your experience, insights, and all your work experiences and everything. And I would like to say you are a good storyteller. That it's rare that we are not getting bored when someone is talking. You are really good storyteller. And we really
That's
appreciate your time and wishing you all the best for your upcoming projects. And we are excited to see what next from you. Thank you so much.
that's very kind of you, and thank you for having me, guys. I
Thank you, sir.
wish
Thank
you
you.
all the
Thank you,
best.
sir.
Yeah,
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
thank you. Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
Have a great day.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Bye.